My favorite car, it's not done yet, is that 72 Blazer that is like
so sick. I've been watching the photo updates of that thing.
I just walked in the door and he was calling for a couple of things. He's like, we're pushing. So it'll be done on the 26th of June.
Yeah.
And it was my dream, right? So the crazy thing about that car, again, if you guys learn how business operates and taxes.
Yeah.
So that truck was next door to one of my rental properties. I knocked on the guy's door for 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, you want to sell this? He's like, make me an offer. The last guy didn't. And I'm like, 15 grand. He's like, okay. Dude, it
like
ran
1,500.
It ran. I drove it home that day, and then I towed it up to Munns Park because I'm like, I don't want to drive this thing all the way up there.
Right.
And I made it an advertisement in Munns Park. So that's my showing vehicle in Munns Park. So it shows up in all my pictures. It shows up on my social.
Yeah.
And so what we did with it, because it was worked in there, I went through it with my CPA and I'm like, I'm going to build this for this.
Yep.
And it was 100%, it was an expense to the business, but it's 100% write off to build my dream truck.
Yep, marketing.
Because that's where it'll be.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was one of those things that I always wanted to do. I had one when I was in high school. Yeah. It was stolen the first day of my senior year after I built it.
Yeah.
And
it was so hard to get these days in good shape.
Yeah, it was pearl white, and it had a killer sound system in it, and all those fun things. And there was a piece of shit Oldsmobile parked in my parking space when I came out, and I called my dad, and I'm like, "This is not funny." He's like, "I didn't do anything," so never saw it again. So when this one came up, I'm like, it's been an awesome experience building it.
Yeah.
Because I found the right person that specializes in them, and he has been like clockwork, and it's been awesome.
Yeah. No, his friggin' builds look like crazy. You showed me his Instagram page. I was like, holy crap. That's such detail. I think he just built one for like Travis Barker too, or something like that.
He did.
That's so legit.
Yeah. And the one that he has the highest selling Blazer ever at Barrett was 440 grand this year.
For a Blazer.
For a Blazer.
That's so
The thing was awesome because he did the Hot Rod chassis. It was the first time that Hot Rod had came out with a chassis for those. And it was all coilover suspension. It was like just dialed. It was so awesome.
Yeah, we got a Chevelle we're building right now. I'm excited to have that one done finally.
Yeah.
It just takes forever though.
It does.
The body work on it and stuff like that. They're doing like all the metal work and mini tubs on it and having the engine built, and then the frame took like 6 months from Roadster Shop. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I like our old cars though. I got like an old 79 K10 and I've got some nice trucks and cars and stuff. And that's probably like my favorite to drive.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. It's the most rough riding. I like clinch when I run over train tracks and that thing. So I think my head's going to like fly through the friggin' roof because it rides like a pogo stick. Because the 79 K10 with the big block in it. But it's so fun. I just love that truck.
The newest addition is the monster truck.
Yeah, that thing's friggin' huge. I saw getting that thing emissions done out like a few weeks back.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was like,
what do you got on 52s on that thing?
It's 56s.
Oh my God.
So the scary thing was, watching the emissions test. But the funny thing is that truck actually has a little bit of sentimental value. So
how did that thing even pass emissions? Is it legit? Like you got emissions on that thing?
It failed at idle. That was it. But it's got like a 572 big block in it, and it's just nasty, right? So, so my buddy owned Frontier Automotive, and he built that truck. And so Frontier Automotive was where I used to take my trucks when I was a teenager in high school, right? So it had been passed to the friend of mine that mentored me in the business, and he owned it, and he built that truck for the shop.
Oh, okay.
And I've got all these pictures of the kids in second and first grade when he drove the truck to pick them up the last day of school. So it was like this big thing. And so he called me, he sold the shop. He's like, dude, do you want this? I'm like, yeah.
Why not?
Why not? And so I bought it, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? So right now I just drive it to coffee and back. Yeah. But the attention in it is fun.
Oh, for sure.
But we're going to redo some stuff on it and do it for kids' charities, to show up at different kids' events, PCH, different things like that. Because kids, they're always in awe. It's always funny to watch the kids that are in the car with the phones like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun. My wife is super pissed at me, though.
She doesn't like it?
She came home from her appointment. It was parked in the driveway. She's
like, what's that?
Are you serious? You didn't even ask. I'm like, well... The two work wives said it was okay, so we're good, because my CFO is her best friend. And so I'm like, she said it was okay, so I bought it.